Good afternoon, people. It is Friday, March 13th. It is 2:50. Markets have a little over an hour to close, and right now the stocks are up all across the board, basically. People, I think this is a very important video. I have a lot to talk about, and I want to try to just stay on task. I first have to preface everything by saying I've been in gold and silver, as I've mentioned many times, since 1999. It's 21 years. It's almost a quarter of a century. It's almost half my life. So I think I've earned the right to say some things. I think I've learned some things in 21 years. And the whole point of me doing these videos, which I've said, was to just share my experiences with others, my mistakes that I've made, and I've made a lot along the way with others. Okay, that's the only reason to do this, okay? So, with that being said, we need to talk about gold and silver. Now, stocks are doing their thing, okay? They're up today. They were hammered yesterday, okay? It's been volatile all week, all right? But the longest bull market in history, the biggest, fattest, ugliest bubble of all time, is not going to go down without a fight. It just won't, okay? Now, the Dow, okay, has not even breached the December 2018 lows, okay? As bad as it's been coming from that record high, we haven't broken down below those December lows. Now, there's quite a difference between December 2018 and where we are today. Back in December 2018, Powell, okay, with his grand delusion, actually thought that he could start raising rates. And he actually thought that he could start lowering the Fed's balance sheet, okay? And it was going to be like watching paint dry, according to Janet Yellen. So when the market had a tantrum and said no, he immediately stopped raising, and then soon after started cutting. But he was cutting from a little bit of a higher level. Now it's March of 2020, and we're in the same situation. But he's already been cutting, and he doesn't have that many cuts left before it goes negative. So there is a big difference between December 2018 and March 2020. But nevertheless, the longest bull market in history is not going to go gentle into that good night, right? It's going to rage against the dying of the light, right? Isn't that the poem? Don't go gentle into that good night. And that's what they're going to do. They will throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at this stock market. It's just that simple. I believe it was Wednesday. Trump was surrounded by all the head of these big banks. And he was having this press conference. And he went around the room and he was speaking to each one of them. He let them all speak, right? And to a man, the banks are well capitalized, we're strong, everything is good, to a man on Wednesday. 24 hours later, the whole system was about to implode. And they had to come in, okay, and basically print what? $1 trillion to bail them out? To a man, Everything is good. We're well capitalized. Again, I don't want to lose my train of thought, people. So that's the stock market. They'll throw everything at this to prevent this from going down. I want to turn to gold now. I had said in a video not all that long ago, don't let the gold bull throw you. And I meant it. And I still believe we're in a bull market in gold. I cannot understand for the life of me why gold is getting absolutely slaughtered today. But there was a tip earlier in the week. I got charts. I'm not even going to bother going to all these charts. Early in the week, while stocks were crashing, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, gold was flat. It was just flat. It was very odd. It was very suspicious. It's like, why is the Dow down 2,000 points and gold is basically flat? I opened up a video where it was Sunday night, I believe I did a video. And gold was going to over. It had just taken out 1,700. It was up like 20, 25 bucks. And I said we can get to 1,800 by the end of this week. And here we are, 5 days later. We're in the low 1,500s. There's no explanation for this, people. None. But there was a tip. It was flat while stocks were getting hammered. And now today, while stocks are up, and supposedly everything is wonderful again because the temperatures are rising and, the virus it doesn't like the heat, and before you know it, it'll be May and this will all be over. And, Mnuchin, Jim Cramer said, I know you have the people's heart. This guy's he's been off the rails, Jim Cramer, this whole week. But let me stay on task. This was from today. Gold and silver prices are getting hammered at midday Friday, down over $75 an ounce in gold as of this writing, as the U.S. stock market fell down from its sharp early morning gains. The gold market sold off on notions of another rough day in the stock market that could put strains on liquidity, in many markets. So a sell the gold while you can mentality emerged. So, okay, stocks started to go back down today. So sell the gold. Stocks down, gold down, right? Then, as the U.S. stock market indexes stabilized and started to move back higher, notions resurfaced that the worst of the coronavirus-induced market panic has passed. The worst of it is over. This rallied U.S. stock indexes and the U.S. dollar index, which in turn added to more selling pressure in the gold market and silver markets. So if stocks go down, gold goes down. If stocks go up, gold goes down. Do you have the picture, people? I mean, this is crazy. Heads I win, tails you lose. So gold can't go anywhere then. Stocks down, sell gold. Stocks up, sell gold. Come on, people. I do say we're still in a bull market. Reason I say that, I'm just looking at the moving averages. There's a lot of technicians out there with sophisticated stuff. I kind of always go back basically to some basic stuff. Patterns, okay, support levels, resistance levels, and simple moving averages. So here's the chart here, people. This is the price of gold, right, with the moving averages. The 50-day moving average, 1591. We've breached that. The 100-day moving average, 1536. The 200-day moving average, 1495. Okay? So, I mean, we still haven't violated this 100 and 200-day moving average, right? We're basically at there. So we can test and hold this 100-day moving average. I think we're still I still think it's too early to say it's not a bull market. So I'll stand by my call. All right. Next thing I want to talk about, have to talk about silver. Silver is getting absolutely crushed. Okay. Now, how can I put this? As bad as it is watching the silver prices get crushed, what upsets me more, there are people, and some of them I respect and like. I don't necessarily agree with everything they say, but I respect and like them, and I listen to their, whether it's a YouTube video or whether it's reading one of their articles. And then there are others that they're just hacks, okay? But there's so many people out there that continue to tout silver, okay? I mean, there are some out there with gold, silver it's doing good, relatively speaking. I've heard people say that. Up until recently. It's protection. I'm glad I have my silver in times like this. I've made it clear, people. I own silver. I'm not selling silver. You could go back and look at all my other prior videos. You see what my record is on where I stand on silver. I've said silver sucks. I've said it. And as a matter of fact, I think this is the first time in all the videos that I've made that I'm actually going to reference a prior video. And that was a video I made on October 20th, 2017. I'm going to try to put it up in the corner here if I could figure out how to do that. Never did that before. Where I talked in depth about silver. You know, there's an old expression, or it's a joke actually, right? If you're not handsome at 20, strong at 30, rich at 40, or wise at 50, you never will be. Right? After all these years in silver, if it's not $100, $200 by now, it never will be. So what are we doing? You might have heard this story. A man brought a Rolex watch he purchased in 1974 for $345.97 to an antique show to find out its current value. His reaction, priceless. Told a watch like this is now worth $400,000 at auction, the man toppled to the ground. But the appraiser wasn't finished. Because of the watch's pristine condition, the watch was valued at between $500,000 and $700,000. He bought a watch in 1974, a Rolex, for $345. It's now valued anywhere between $500,000 and $700,000. I mean, we're battling for every $10 move in gold. What an investment. In 1974, right, I'm looking at the price of silver, okay, and I have a chart here. This is the historical chart of silver, right? That huge move with the Hunt brothers, right? Bringing it up to $48, then that flat line for all those years, then the big move back to 48 in the crash. This is the price of silver in 1974. Okay? Up, down, up, down, up, down. But it basically traded anywhere from like $3, about $3.40 to a high of about $6.40. On average, I'm going to call it $5. I'm just going to call it $5. Silver, 1974. On average, kind of bounced around up and below $5. So if this man had listened to some of these people, these carnival barkers and P.T. Barnums that have been touting silver for all these years, okay? If he had listened to those same shills back then and plunked down his $345 on some silver, he would have got 69 ounces, right? 345 divided by $5, 369 ounces. Let's call it $15 today. He would have made $1,000.35 today. 1974, 345, call it 569, 69 times 15, $1,035 today. Thank God that man didn't listen to these same people that are still here today with the same nonsense. Oh, it's good protection. I can sleep at night with my silver. Are you kidding me? You really have to rethink that. I own silver. I'm not selling it. I'll never purchase another ounce as long as I live. When I was a kid, in 1974, the same year this man purchased his Rolex, I started to get these Planet of the Apes. I thought they were a comic book. Turns out they were a magazine. And I got into a conversation with my older brother, who's a real comic book collector and knows his stuff. And we were just talking about some things. We got on to comic books, and I mentioned, he knew I had these Planet of the Apes comic books. On his advice, years ago. Well, it wasn't his advice. Let me rephrase. He told me they're not going to be worth anything. Because he really knows comic books, and he knows what will be valuable and what won't be valuable. He's really into all that stuff. But I like the stories, and, so I was buying them once a week. They were like 75 cents. Then they went up to $1. And just out of curiosity, we went on eBay just to look at what because I threw them out after he told me they weren't. I was cleaning up my room one day. They were in the closet, and there was about 25 of them, and I threw them out. And then years later, when we were talking about it, years, not just recent, but even years back, when it came up, and I said, "Oh, I threw them out." Well, I didn't tell you to throw them out. Well, you said they weren't be worth anything. Yeah, but I didn't tell you to throw them out. I threw them out anyway. Whatever. So just recently we started looking at it, right? And I went on eBay. Planet of the Apes number 20. 75 cents. This guy's selling it for $18.99. Planet of the Apes number 2. 75 cents, $15. I don't know the condition, if it's good, mint, whatever. Planet of the Apes number 1. $25. Okay. Planet of the Apes. Okay. 19 bucks, 15 bucks, 25 bucks. 1974. Okay. This guy's selling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 magazine lot for 75 bucks. Okay. You can see that. 75 bucks. He's selling a lot of them. Okay. A lot. 20 bucks for he's selling numbers 1, 6, and 7. This guy's selling number 26 for 15 bucks. So in 1974, you could have bought a Planet of the Apes magazine, let's just say $1. And today, if you held on to it, it's anywhere between 15, 20, 25 bucks, more or less, I guess, depending on the condition, right? In 1974. In 1974, while silver was basically averaging $5, okay? You bought an ounce of silver in 74 for $5. Today you got 15 bucks. You could have bought 5 Planet of the Apes number 1 for the same $5, and maybe had, let's just say, $100. And you're telling me silver is doing good, relatively speaking? Come on! Now, there are 3 options, people. The way I see it, there are 3 options. If you know another option, I'm all ears. Either 1, the supply of silver is infinitely more than what we're being told. Number 2, the demand for silver is infinitely less than what we're being told. Or number 3, this is the most manipulated asset in the history of the world. It's your choice. But at the end of the day, does it matter? If you're not handsome at 20, strong at 30, rich at 40, or wise at 50, you never will be. What else can I say, people? Anyway, that's it. I'm going out because it is a beautiful day. It was rainy and damp earlier. The sun came through. Weather is nice. I'm going to take a long walk on this Friday afternoon. And again, I started these videos just to try to share my mistakes. I bought silver at 4 and change. I rode it all the way up to 45. It was a grand slam. I didn't sell like a jerk. Okay? Now it's a strikeout. What are you going to do? So just think about it. Just think. Think. Weigh it out for yourself. Come to your own conclusions. Okay? And that's it. Beautiful day. Enjoy the weekend, people. Get out if you can. Clear your mind. Take a walk. It'll do yourself worlds of good. And we'll pick this up next week, maybe, Lord willing. Ciao.